Pass it 1, 2. Shalom, Israel, with Isupk. Start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana, 1969, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribe of Israel. We're doing the Sabbath services today in South Carolina. We want you guys to join in, participate. We will let you know that the Isupk is not affiliated with any other Israelite group. If you're not in Commander General Yohana, you're not under the truth. So we're going to do the Sabbath service today. We're going to start out. We're going to Majim. Blow the horn. That's good. All right. We'll call up the first brother. State your register.
Ashaya Allah, Ban Yahawah, Ban Yashala.
Ashaya Allah, Ban Yahawah, Ban Yashala.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah.
blow the horn again. Okay. Now, go put that over there. Pick that up. Okay. Sola Hakwayam, that means turn to the east. We're going to read all of the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and English.
This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayah.
Shabbat Shemayah.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yamalakovka.
Malakavka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Ratazayaka.
Ratazayaka.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Asha.
Asha.
Ba'arataza.
Ba'arataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Bashemayah.
Bashemayah.
Nathan.
Nathan.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Ka.
Ka.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalak Lanawa.
Wasalak Lanawa.
Kawawak Yanawa.
Kawawak Yanawa.
Kasalak Nawa.
Kasalak Nawa.
Kawawak Yanawa.
Kawawak Nawa.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Tabaya Anawa.
Taba'aya Nawa.
Banasayawan.
Banasaya.
Go back. Taba'aya Nawa.
Tabaya Nawa.
Taba'ah Yanawa.
Banasayawan.
Banasaya.
Abal.
Abal.
Habashaya Nawa.
Shaya Nawa.
Mayan.
Maryan.
Ra.
Ra.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalakwa.
Hamalakwa.
Waha Allah. Waha Allah.
Wahala.
Waha Taparif.
Wahakaparaf.
La'awalanyam.
Lawalanyam.
Aman.
Aman. What he said in the English was, Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
thy kingdom come.
thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done
in earth.
in earth
As it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
Forgive our debts.
Forgive us our debts
As we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our
And
debtors.
lead us not.
And lead us not
into temptation.
into temptation.
But deliver us.
But deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it. Hakak the power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashim.
Bahashim.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Baba Kusha.
Kusha.
Natala Nawa.
Natala
Hakak.
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 Larpa'ah.
Larpa'ah.
Kamakala.
Kamalaka.
Wakal.
Wakal.
Marawa.
Marawa.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Ha.
Ha.
Matazari.
Matazari.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lahakwi.
Hakwil.
Hamatia.
Hamatia.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Arakawah.
Arakawaf.
Hatama'ala.
Hamata'ala.
Lagarsh.
Lagarsh.
Bahashim.
Bahashim.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Tuwara.
Tawara.
Aman.
Aman. What he said in English was, Lord, in the name of Jesus,
Lord, in the name of
we
Jesus,
call him Yahweh Shah. Please give us the power.
please give us the power.
The power to heal.
Power to heal
All manner of sickness.
all manner of sickness
All manner of disease.
and all manner of
The
disease.
power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the
The
lepers.
power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Bless Israel. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashim.
Bahashim.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wayasher Allah.
Washarala.
Wahabayah.
Wahayabah.
Sapari.
Sapar.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa'ah.
Rapa'ah.
Magun.
Magun.
Hagun.
Magun.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
All of
All of
Israel.
Israel. Someone cries on.
Bashim Hamshai.
Bahashim Yahweh Shah.
Bahashim
The
Yahweh
water.
The water.
Aman.
Aman. Let's slow it down a little bit, make sure we get it exactly right, okay?
You gonna read? This is Psalms 121. Asha.
Asha.
Start over.
Silaki.
Asha'ah,
Asha'ah,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Al, Haharium,
Hararium,
Mahayan,
Mayan,
Yaba'ah,
Yaba'ah,
Azariah,
Agarium,
Azariah,
Azarium,
Ma'an,
Ma'an,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Asha,
Ashah,
Shemaiah,
Shemaiah,
Wa Arataza,
Waratazah,
Alethan,
Ayathan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Ragalka,
Gal,
Al,
Al,
Yanawam,
Nanawam,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Hana,
Hana,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yanawam,
Nanawam,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yayashan,
Yayashan,
Shawamah,
Shema,
Yasra'al,
Yash'al,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Tazal,
Al-Yai,
Ayai,
Yamyanka,
Yamka,
Yawamam,
Yamam,
Hashamash,
Shamash,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yaka,
Yakak,
Wayarak,
Wayarak,
Balayala,
Balayala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yasamarka,
Shamarka,
Makal,
Makal,
Ra,
Rai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Ata,
Ata,
Napashka,
Napash,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Shamar,
Tazaatka,
Tazaatka,
Wabawatka,
Wabawak,
Ma'ah, Wa'ai, Wabawatka,
Wabawatka,
Ma'ata,
Ma'ata,
Wa'ai,
Wa'ai,
Awalam.
Awalam. What he said in English was, I will lift up mine eyes.
I will lift up mine eyes
to the hills.
and to the hills,
From which cometh my help.
which helps my help.
My help coming from the Lord.
My help coming from the Lord,
Which made the heaven and earth.
which made the heaven and the
He
earth.
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy
He
foot to be
He
moved.
that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel
shall not slumber nor sleep.
shall not slumber nor sleep.
The Most High
The Most
is
High
the keeper.
is the keeper.
Thy Lord
Thy Lord
is thy shade upon thy right hand.
is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by
nor the
day,
moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all
He
evil.
shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in
From this time forth.
from this time forth
And even forevermore.
and even forevermore. Psalms 83.
Psalms.
Alahayim,
Alahayim.
Adamayah,
Adamaya.
Laka,
Laka.
Altakarash,
Altakarash.
Wa'al,
Wa'al.
Tashakwat,
Tashukra.
Al,
Al.
Kaya,
Kaya.
Hana,
Ana.
Awawanyaka,
Awawanyaka.
Ahama,
Ama.
Yawan,
Yawan.
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash.
Al Amaka,
Amaka.
Ya'arimu, Ayamnewa,
Yarawan Yawa.
Sawada,
Sawada.
Wayata,
Wayata.
Ya'a,
Ah.
Tazawa,
Tazawa.
Al,
Aya.
Tazapanyaka,
What? Say that again.
Tazawapanyaka,
Tazawapanyaka.
Amara,
Amawa.
Lawa'a,
Lawa.
Wanakakidum,
Wanakakadam.
Magawaya, Maga, Waya, Maga,
Magarium.
Waya. It's like no ra, no ra. Maga, Waya,
Maga. Waya.
Wala'a,
Wala'a.
Yazakar,
Yasakar.
Sham,
Sham.
Yasra'ala,
Yasharal.
Awada,
Awada.
Kaya,
Kaya.
Nawa'a Tazawa,
Maza'a.
Naza, Salaki,
Say it again.
Nawa'a, Nawa'a,
Nawa'a.
Taza,
Taza.
Wa,
Wa.
Laba,
Go back. That's not to Zawa.
Nawa'a,
Let me see. Where you at?
right here,
Not to Zawa.
Nawa, Atazawa,
Oh, Nawa Atazawa.
right.
Na'a
Na-
Atazawa.
Laba,
Ba.
Yakado, Salaki, Yakadwa,
Yakar.
Al-Yakar, Baraya, Yakarawat, Yakarawatwa, Ahala, Adawam, Wa, Yashama,
Yashma.
Allah, Salaki, Allah Ya'am,
Alaya.
Mawa Abba,
Mawa'aba.
Wahar, Salaki, Wahab, Garian, Gabal,
Bal.
Wa Amawan,
Wamawan.
Wa Amalak,
Wamalak.
Palashah,
Palasha.
Ain,
Aim.
Yeshabia,
Shabia.
Tazawa,
Tazawa.
Gum,
Gam.
Ashawa,
Ashwa.
Nala Wa'a,
Say it again.
Nala Wa'a,
Nala Wa'a.
Amam.
Amam.
Hayawa.
Ayawa.
Zarawa.
Zarawai.
Labanya.
Labanya.
Lawat.
Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Asha.
Asha.
Laham.
Laham.
Kamadya.
Kamadi.
Kasayawa.
Kasayawa.
Sarah.
Sarah.
Kayabayan.
Kabayan.
Oh, let me do it again. Select.
Slow it
Kaya
down. Slow it down.
Bayan.
Slow it down and get it right.
Kaya Bayan.
Say it again.
Kayabyan.
Kayabi.
Yabi.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Kwayash.
Koyash.
One.
One.
Nasam.
Nasham.
Adwa.
Awa.
Mayaan.
Mayaan.
Daya Ara. Select it. The Ara.
The Ara.
Hayawa.
Ayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
Laadama.
The Adama.
Shayatamwa.
Shayistamwa.
Nada.
Nada.
Yaba.
Iba.
Mawa.
Mawa.
Karad.
Kara.
Wakaza.
Wakaza.
Abba.
Abba.
Wakaza.
Wakaza.
Abak.
Abak.
Wakatazalka.
Wakatazal.
Ma'a.
Ma'ad.
Kau.
Kal.
Nasayak Namwa.
Nasayak.
Asha.
Asha.
Amarwa.
Amara.
Naya Asha.
Na.
Naya Asha.
Na ya asha.
Lanawa.
Larawa.
Ata.
Ata.
Naawa.
Nawa.
Alahayam.
Alahaya.
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 Sayah.
Shaya.
Amawa.
Amawa.
Kagali Gali.
Gal Yagal.
Kagash.
Gaga.
Lapanya.
Latanya.
Rawaka.
Roka.
Kaash.
Kaash.
Tabaarya Ar.
Taba'ara Ya'ar.
Wakalaba.
Wakalaba.
Talahat.
Talahat.
Haryam.
Ariyam.
Kan.
Kan.
Taradakma.
Daradakma.
Masa. Masa.
Asa.
Araka.
Go back to Masa. What was that?
Masa.
Masa.
Araka.
Araka.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
What's like it? Wapata.
Wapatak.
Tabahalam.
Tabahalam.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyaham.
Payaham.
Kwalawan.
Kalawan.
Waya. Waya. Waya.
Say that again. What was that?
Waya.
Waya.
Bashkwa.
Bashwa.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawah.
Yahabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Bahalwa.
Bahalwa.
Arya Ai.
Ayah.
Waya.
Waya.
Kaparawa.
Kaparwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Abadawa. So let me do it again. Abadawa.
Abarawa.
Waya.
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 Da'awa.
Da'awa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Ata.
Ata.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahaw.
Yahawah.
Labadka.
Labadka.
Alyawan.
Ayawan.
Alkaha.
Alkaha.
Arataza.
Arataza. What he said in English, keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence.
O God.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
Hold thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
Oh God.
For lo.
For lo.
Slow down. For lo thine enemies.
For
make
lo
a
thy
tumult.
enemy.
Slow down. For lo thy enemies make a tumult.
For lo thy enemies make a tumble,
And they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
and they that hate thee have lifted up thy heads.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people,
And consulted against thy hidden
and
ones.
consulted against thy
They
hidden
have
ones.
said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
let us cut them off from being a nation.
let us cut them off from being a
that the
nation,
name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
that the name of Israel shall be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The
thee.
tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom,
Of the Ishmaelites.
of Ishmaelites,
Of Moab.
Moab,
Of the Hagarenes.
of the Hagarenes,
Gabal.
Gabal,
Ammon.
Ammon,
Amalek.
Amalek,
The Philistines.
Philistines,
The inhabitants of Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assurance also joined with them.
Assurance also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah,
Do unto them.
do unto them
As unto the Midianites.
as unto the Midianites, as unto Sisera,
As to Jabin.
as to Jabin,
At the brook of Kasan.
at the brook of Kasan,
Which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung of the earth.
They became as the dung of the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like
and
Arab
like Zeeb.
and like Zeeb.
Yea, all the princes as Zabah
And yea, all the princes as Abba
and as Amun.
and as Amunda,
Who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of God in
The-
our possession.
the houses of God in possession.
O my Yahweh,
O my Yahweh,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as to stumble before the wind,
as it stumble before the
as the
wind,
fire that burns the wood,
as the fire burns the
the
wood,
flame that set the mountains on fire.
as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest.
with thy tempest,
And make them afraid with thy son.
and make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with
That they
shame,
may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy
O
name.
Yahweh.
O Yahweh,
Let them be confounded.
let them be confounded
And troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea.
Yea,
Let them be put to shame.
let them be put to
And
shame
perish.
and perish,
That men may know.
that men may know
Whose name alone.
whose name alone
Yahweh.
is Yahweh,
Are the most high.
all the most high
Over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Sorry. You be seated. Oh, yes, right.
La Yashala.
Laya Shalom.
Shut up. See. Genesis chapter 49. We're going to read to verse 8. Well, we picked up at, we'll read the Hebrew. Start out at, what is that, 49?
Yep. Okay.
Start at 40. Start the Hebrew out at 49.
Genesis 49:1. Matah. Why sa ra'a. Why ya kwa ra'a. Ya'a kwa al. Banayawa. Why ya'a mara. Ha'asa tawa. Ha'asa pawa. Wa'aga ya. Wa'aga ya na. Wa'aga ya da ha. Lakam. Aka. Slagi ata. Ashar. Yapa. Yakwara. Ataka. Atakam. Ba'aka rayata. Hayama yama. Hakwa batazawa. Washama awa. Banaya. Ya'a kwa. Washama awa. Allah. Oh, so like Yasha Raya. It's like Yasha Ra Allah. Yes, come. Abaya Kama. Ra'awa ba. So that's what I keep forgetting. Nah. Ra'awa bana. Bakara ya. Ataha. Kakaya. Wara shayata. Awanaya. Yatar. Sha'ata. Ta ra. Azza. Verse 4. That was a pa. Paka za. Kamaya ma. All. Tawatara. Kaya. Alayata. Masha ka baya. Abaya. Abayana.
It's like ka.
Abayanka. Azar. Kalalata. Yataza wa'a ya. Allaha. Verse 5. Shama waza. Shama wana. Wala wa ya. Akayama. Kalya. Kama sa. Makara daya ha ma. Basana. Basada ma. Al. Taba'a. Napa. Let's write the other one. Napa shaya. Bakwa ha la ma. Al. Takada. Kabadaya. Kaya. Ba'apama. Ba'apom. Haraga wa. Ayasha. Wabara taza nama. Alqua rawa. Shar. Verse 7. Arawa ra. Apama. Kaya. Kaya azar. Wa'a. Baratama. Kaya. Kwashataha. Akala kwama. Baya'a kwa ba. Wa'apa yatazama. Baya sha ra'ala. Verse 8. Yahawa.
Where you at?
Verse 8, sir.
I'll read 1 through 7, right?
Okay.
1 through 7, okay.
Gotcha.
You got to read the.
Okay.
Select. I got it. Read Genesis 49, 1 through 7.
Gotcha. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in these last days.
Do you have that on your phone? You got a Bible on your phone? Yeah, get a Bible on your phone. It's locked. Okay, it's locked. Yeah. Start it over in Genesis 49. You're on your phone, so we're going to read Genesis 49 and 7. We'll start over here. Okay. In the English.
In the English. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 1 in the English.
Uh-huh.
And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in these last days. Verse 2. Gather yourselves together, and hear ye, sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father.
This is when Jacob, if we go back and read verse 21 right above that, 48 and 21, where it talks about Israel getting ready to die, because he's getting ready to die, and he's telling Joseph, don't worry about it, the Most High got you, and he's going to go right above that to verse 21.
Verse 21. You
Yeah,
said?
for 48 and 21.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 48, verse 21.
Uh-huh.
And Israel said unto Joseph, Behold, I die, but God shall be with you.
The God to be with you, because he was letting his sons know he's getting ready. And this is how we know where all of our nations are going to be situated. And this is and Joseph and Israel, which is Jacob, was letting us know, sons, that the Most High is going to be with you to take you and be with you and bring you into the land of your fathers.
That's
So
right.
finish reading that.
That's right.
But God shall be with you.
Shall be with you and bring you again into the land of your fathers.
Right.
Verse 22. Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above my brethren, above thy brethren.
He's given to Joseph a portion above him, letting him know that he was getting ready to give to all his sons their inheritance and let them know. This is how we know who we are, the 12 tribes of Israel, the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, and where we will be situated and what tribe we're from. This is how we know that. Finish reading for me, Baba Kushah.
Which I took out of the hand of the Amorite with my sword and with my bow.
Now go to 49.
Book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in these last days.
You notice he said in the last days. That's how you know Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, and Zebulun, and Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. And that's how we know who we are. That's how we know where we're situated, man. And then Genesis 49 is our evidence. But so finish reading.
Verse 2. Gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father.
That's right. Finish reading.
Verse 3.
And he's going to talk about all the tribes. Go ahead.
Reuben, thou art my firstborn.
Right. Reuben was the firstborn. If you realize Reuben was the firstborn, and Reuben actually had I wouldn't say affair, but he went after his dad's wife. So Reuben was the firstborn, though. Finish reading for me. Verse 3.
My might and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power.
That's right. So Reuben's a tribe. What tribe is the tribe of Reuben? Anybody know? Go ahead and raise your hand.
So, like, if I may, that's the Seminole Indians.
Seminole Indians, the Seminole Indians, exactly right. The Seminole Indians are, they're Native American Indians that was here before the white man, but here before Esau, man. He was the firstborn of the tribe of Israel, man. Reuben, okay? So finish reading.
Come on. Verse 4. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel,
And just read it naturally, okay?
because thou wentest up to thy father's bed.
See, that's it says. Read that again for me, verse 4.
Verse 4. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up thy father's bed. Then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch.
Right. He went up to his father's bed. He took one of his father's concubines and he defiled it. So the Most High said he's unstable as water, man. But the Most High basically, Israel, Jacob, their fathers, man, is giving them their heritage, telling them who they are, and telling them so they can understand their heritage, man, from which they come. So, because Reuben, the Seminole Indians, man, they're just Indians, just like Gad, the North American Indians, was letting them know I know what you. He's telling them we got the inheritance. We know what our tribe's done, so we know our inheritance, and we know what we did in those days. Because this is what it says. He said, "Which shall befall you in the last days." That's what it's saying. It's telling you what this is prophecy, man.
That's right.
This is a prophecy, so you'll understand who we are. So finish reading that again.
Verse 5.
Well, yeah, verse 5. All right, go ahead.
Simeon and Levi.
And he's talking about Simeon and Levi. Who is Simeon? Anybody raise your hand? Go ahead.
Dominicans.
Dominican Republic. And I've been over in that town up there.
That's right.
Dominican Republic. It's right next to Haiti, a town called Punta Cana. Dominican Republic, those are Dominicans. They're our brothers, man, the Spanish-speaking brothers, So we'll know who we are. We know that we're not Dominicans by name, but it's just so that we'll know that right now who we are as a people. We'll know if you see the Dominicans, that's actually the tribe of Simeon.
That's right.
Okay, that's actually the tribe of Simeon.
Damn right.
And it's that. So when you see them, you know, Simeon and Levi. Well, read verse 4 again.
Verse 4.
I mean, verse 5. I'm sorry, slack you.
This book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 5.
Uh-huh.
Simeon and Levi are brethren.
They're brethren. Go ahead.
Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation.
That's right. Instruments of cruelty, man. You know, Levi. You know, basically Simeon, and if you go over there, man, they had sort of like war against each other when you think about it. Because I've been over there, they're brothers. One speaks a little French because they were conquered over by the French, the Levi, the Haitians, and the other ones, Dominican Republic. You know, they conquered by the Spain. But they're brothers, and the Bible says, read verse 5 again.
Verse 5.
Uh-huh.
Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation.
That's right. That's instruments of cruelty, man. That's how they act. I mean, you know, a lot of voodoo goes on in some time in Levi because they don't know. Some of them don't know who they are, but they're waking up, and it's our job to wake them up out on the street to let Levi and Simeon know who they are.
That's right.
They're brothers, man, and that's what the Most High is saying. Is going on here that we talk about in verse 5. So go to verse 6. Go ahead.
Verse 6. O my soul, come not there into their secrets, unto their assembly. Mine honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they have slew a man. And in their self-will they dig down a wall.
Right. It's telling you about who they are, their personality, man, and their anger. You know, this is how they've acted. The Most High is telling you what shall befall in the last day, their behavior, their characteristics, how they will be as a people. So you know when you read about Levi and Simeon and so far, what we said, Reuben, and when you read about them, you'll know how they behave, how they are. This is a book. This is a black man's book, man. This is a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian book. This belonged to us, man, and no other. Finish reading verse, what we got, 7?
Verse 7, yep. Come on. Verse 7. Cursed be thy anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel.
Right.
I will divide them in Jacob, and scatter them in Israel.
And see, and that's exactly what I was saying. He divided them. They're divided right now. You go to the island, that island down there in the Caribbean, man. I went down there. You know, Highway 3 runs right through it. Simeon and Levi. You talk to some of the Spanish people. Some of them speak English. I spoke to a little translator Spanish there, you know, down there. So, now, you know, I really don't go over there to Levi. I say, you know, why not? They don't even know that they're brothers, man. You know, and the ones that do, you know, they're divided. Read that again for me, verse 7.
Verse 7. Cursed be their anger.
Curse. Yeah, that's exactly right. Go ahead.
For it was fierce.
Right.
And their wrath.
Right.
For it was cruel.
Right.
I will divide them in Jacob.
Right.
And scatter them in Israel.
Yeah, that's how it is nowadays, how they are. Finish reading.
Select verse 8.
Verse 8. Go back to the Hebrew. Go back to Hebrew and pick up, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to verse 14, okay? 8 through 14.
Okay.
All right. See that ink pen right there. Gotcha. 8 through 14 for me, if you could, Baba Kashah.
Genesis 49 and 8.
Right.
Yahweh Daha. Yahweh. Ataha. Yahweh wa ka.
Damn right.
Akawa ka.
Yeah.
It's like Akaya ka. Yada ka. Ba'a rapa. Ayaba yaka. Yashata kawawa. Laka. Banaya. Abaya ka. Ga.
It's like where you at?
Verse 9. Okay. Gawara. Ara ya ka. It's like ha. Yaha wa daha. Yeah,
What's that?
Yahweh.
Yahweh?
Kawakar, I just gotta slow
That's
down
all right.
a little
That's no
bit.
problem. Yahweh, right?
Kawakar,
Okay, you know who that is, right?
Lord.
All right, go ahead.
Pa Masa Ra Pa Ba na ya La ya Ta Kara Rabba Taza
Damn right.
Ra Yaha Wakala Baya Maya Yakwa Yama Na Wa La'a Yasa Wa Ra Shabbat
Shabbat.
Maya Ha Wa Daha Wamaka Kwa Maba Ya Za Maba Ya Da Raga La Yawa Al Na Ada. It's like Kaya Yaba'a Shayala Ha Shayala Wa Wala Wa Yakwa Ha Ta Alma Yama. Verse 11. Asaraya Laga Lagapa Taza Na Lagapa Na Alya Raha Alya Rawa Wala Sha Rakwa Ha Bana Ya Atanawa Kaba Pa Kawasa Salak
Damn right. Damn right.
Kawasa Ba Ya Ta
No.
Na Ba Ya Na Laba Shawa Wabadama Al Ba Yama Sawataha Wa
Yeah.
verse 12. Kakalaya Laya Alya Na Yama Maya Ya again. Maya Ya Na. It's like Wala Ba Na Shana Yama Makala Ba. Verse 13. Taza
Za.
Zabawa La
Zabawala.
Zabawala Na Zabawala Na Laka Wa Pa Yama Yam Yasha Ka Na Waha Wa'a Laka Wa Pa. Right, correct. Anaya Waya Ra Kata Wa Al Tazaya Tizayada na. Verse 14.
The last one.
Okay. Yashashakara Kamara Garama Rabatiza Bayana Hamasha Patayam.
All right.
Is that it?
Oh, you got a little. Oh, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
You want to pick it up at verse 8? Yeah, pick it up at verse 8 for me, Baba Shah. We're going to read all the way to 14.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
Yeah, Judah is the fourth born son of Israel or Jacob. You know, he's the fourth born son. And he's the black man. You know, that's the Negroes. Finish reading.
Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
Right. In other words, Judah Strong, man, he's a bad motor scooter, man. He's gonna choke his brother out. You know how black people are. We go to the hood, man, and we say some choice words and we just choke the living bejesus out of you. We don't play around, man. And read that again, because Judah, all of us are children of Israel. I mean, he's talking about Judah, man. He's telling Jacob's telling him, saying, look, man, let me tell you about all y'all, man. This is who y'all are. The Most High had to put these prophecies in here so we'll know who we are. Go ahead, finish reading verse 8.
Verse 8. Judah, thou art whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies.
Go ahead.
Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
That's right. In other words, why do they do that? Because Judah's strong dude, man. He's like a leader. He's like a leader. But finish reading that.
Verse 9.
Which word? Verse 9? Okay, go ahead.
Verse 9.
Uh-huh.
Judah is a lion's whelp from thy prey, my son.
Right.
Thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up?
Right. An old lion, man. Old lion got a little wisdom in it, man. You know, he's sitting back. You know, he's ready to pounce down. He just don't. The old lion just don't go out just like these young lions. Just I'm ready to fight and thump his chest, man.
Damn right.
He sit back. Exactly right. Exactly right. He sit back and wait and just see what his enemy's doing. You know, that's how Judah was, man. That's how we do in the hood too, man.
Right.
We sit back and we calculate the guys. He got a left swing. I better know how to duck. He got a right. He can run fast. I better take his legs out of him. You know, or whatever. You know, whatever the key is. You know, Judah's on it, man. In other words, we calculate it. He's an old lion. You know, that makes sure that riles up when necessary. Verse 10.
We have verse 10. Verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah.
That's right. What is talking about? What does it mean when it says scepter? When it says scepter shall not depart from Judah. What's a scepter? Anybody raise their hand? A scepter. A scepter is like if you would take this would be a scepter, and you would anoint somebody with it. In other words, this scepter means power. It means that you're the king. That's a scepter. In other words, a scepter would not depart. That means somebody in the lineage of Judah is going to be king. That's what this is saying. Finish reading for me. Scepter what? Go ahead.
Verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah.
Right.
Nor a lawgiver from between his feet.
That's right. No. So far, can you finish reading?
Until Shiloh come.
That's right. Until Shiloh come. See, the scepter ain't going to depart from him. Finish reading for me.
And unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
The scepter ain't going to depart from him. You're going to have law between his feet, man, and the people going to be gathered under this lineage from Judah here. Finish reading.
Verse 11.
So what? Let's before we go there. I mean, before we go there, it's talking about Yahushua, man.
That's right.
It's talking about Yahushua. Jacob is letting his son at Judah. You know, our Savior is going to come through you, man. The people are going to be together through the tribe of Judah, because that's where Christ came from, through the tribe of Judah. I mean, the Most High could have picked any of these tribes. He chose Judah. You know, Judah strong, choke a nigga out if he did. If necessary. You know, a whole lion to sit back there, lion, strong from the tribe of Judah, man. You know, that's the scepter would not depart. That means that kingship. That's what Christ says, Yahushua. That law that he gave us, the law, statutes, and commandments, well, Yahushua gave us, man, shall not depart from the feet until Shiloh come. That is Christ, Shiloh, okay? And unto him shall the gathering of thy people be. The Most High is through Christ, is from all of those lambs and goats and bulls and things led up to, it's going to come through the lineage of Judah. Yahushua is going to come there, and he's going to have the power to give us the law, and that's what he's done. He's going to be the king. Go ahead, you got something? He's going to have the scepters will not depart from him. The Christ will come from Judah. Finish reading for me in verse 11 there.
Verse 11. Binding his foal into the vine, and his ass's coat unto the choice vine.
Binding his foal unto the vine. And Christ, and that's letting you know furthermore, this is Christ. Christ came to town, man, on a donkey. You know, and that was prophesied. He rode in town, you know, Jerusalem riding on a donkey, because that was prophesied. That's in an old another prophecy. But it said that's why he binding his coat. He's describing through the lineage of Judah, Christ will come. He's going to bind his coat, bind his foal, that, you know, bind his horse or his donkey, unto the vine. Bind his foal to the vine. Finish reading that. And his ass.
And his ass's coat into the choice vine.
Right. Exactly. Go ahead, finish reading.
He washed his garments in wine.
The Christ Most High washed his garments in wine, man. Go ahead. Finish.
And his clothes in the blood of grapes.
In the blood of grapes. And so when Christ come back, the blood of grapes, the blood, when he's come back with his sword, man, to tap this Esau, tap this nation, his vestes, his robe, his long white robe, man, is going to be dipped in blood, man. Dipped from all the violence that they've done to the Most High. This is describing Yahushua, who's going to avenge the children of Israel.
That's right.
Okay?
Damn right.
Avenge us from all that we've gone through. Okay? Finish reading verse 12.
Right. Verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine.
Christ drank. This is describing Christ. You know, it's letting you know that Christ did what? Eyes would be what?
Red with wine.
Red with what?
With wine.
Red with wine, because Christ drank plenty of yayan, man.
That's right.
From the worries and troubles of this world that he had for defending our behind, you know, for all the stuff that we gotten into. The Most High has said, I'm going to avenge you. So the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, salvation is given unto us, man. Only Yahushua coming back, and that's what's been described through Judah. It's going to come through the lineage of Judah. Only Yahushua can do that for us, to give us repentance, to give us salvation, you know, to give us an understanding of who the hell we are. You know, that's who we need to know. And read verse 12 again for him again. His eyes what?
His eyes shall be red with wine.
Shall be red when I finish.
And his teeth white with milk.
His teeth white with milk. And that's a prophecy. His teeth white with milk, okay? Finish reading for me. That's let you know that's our Savior, Christ. You know, Yahushua. To let you know that he came through the tribe of Judah. And all these brothers up here from the tribe of Judah. We have different tribes. 12 of them, just so our people know. The black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, Christ is our king.
That's
right.
right.
Know, let's clap it up for Christ.
Damn right.
And Commander Junior Hunter is our leader, and it's ISUPK. We don't believe in any other Bible but the King James Version of the Bible. Commander Junior Hunter is our leader here. We have to have a leader on this earth, and that's who he is. And Christ, you know, he's ahead of all of us. Okay.
Damn
so
right.
we'll know that Christ, this is what he was describing through Judah. You know, you're my son, man. You're my fourthborn. I'm described to you. Yahushua is going to come through your lineage, man. Go ahead. Finish reading for me. Where we at? Verse 13?
Verse 13. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea.
Let's go back and read that Zebulun.
Salakia. Verse 13. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea.
Right, at the haven of the sea. And that's and who is Zebulun? Anybody know? What tribe is that? You can pick up on the board too.
The Guatemalans and Panamanians.
Guatemala and Panamanians. Now I've had a buddy of mine. I let him, matter of fact, I witnessed to him, let him know he's from Guatemala. And he won't go back there because there's a lot of war going on down there. It's right there in between South America and Mexico. The end of Mexico, right at Cancun, right below that is Guatemala and Panama. You know, that Zebulun or Zebulun, he is one of our brothers too. And it says he's going to do what? He's going to dwell by what? Go ahead.
The sea.
He's going to dwell by the haven of the sea. And that's exactly where they are right now. You know, fishermen right in that area. Finish reading for me.
And he shall be for a haven of ships.
A haven of ships, and that's what he does, man. He goes out and his Zebulun is a wayward person, man. You know, that's what he does. He makes his living on the sea, and all that, because there's nothing but water on both sides of them, the ocean. Okay, but he's letting them know Zebulun is the haven of the ships. Finish reading.
And his border shall be unto Zidon.
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 His border shall be unto Zidon, right? And his border shall be unto Zidon. Okay? And that's letting you know that Zebulun is one of our tribes also. So, and what we got, last 14?
Oh, verse 14.
What time you got?
11:11.
Okay. Verse 14, man. Talk to me. Read that.
Verse 14. Isupk is a strong ass, couching down between two burdens.
Mm-hmm. Who is Isupk? Anybody? Yashashaka. Go ahead.
The Mexicans.
Well, speak up loud.
The so-called Mexicans.
So-called Mexicans. The so-called Mexican Isupk, man. He's and it said, finish reading that.
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
And he saw.
Verse 14.
Verse 14.
Right.
Isupk is a strong ass, couching down between two burdens.
Casting down between two burdens, man. You know, he's strong. He's a good worker, man. And he's casted down between two burdens, man. He's always had he's got good work ethics, man. He's always got problems. You know, he work hard. He takes his siestas, man. You know, and letting you know who Isupk is. They situated in Mexico, man. That's where our people are. So all our people got dropped off on these ships in one place or another. Isupk, you know, working for small wages, man. We sit them the ones that they put on the border. Those people, those are our people, man. And they put our children in cages, man. Put Isupk in cages. That's our brother. Put them in there and then give them, you know, little pieces of bread here and there, man. And they got to sleep under something look like tin foil. This is what Esau does, man. He's a burden himself on us, man. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what our people do, man. We take so much flack from everybody, and Isupk is no different. He takes our brother Isupk, and like I said, it's been described, was told what we would be and what we would be like. Our directives, so we'll know how to go and what direction to go in, so we'll understand who we are. You got to first understand who you are in order to be knowledgeable of yourself, to be able to tell somebody else who they are. You got to know who you are. You got to know what tribe you come from. You got to know, and that's what Jacob will let you know, because only a good father would tell him, say, look, Judah, you're going to be this. Christ's going to come through you, man. Reuben, man, you know, you slept with one of my concubines. You think I don't know? Yeah, I know. You know, and he's letting them know your characteristics, man. This is your habits, how you act. You got to know. Levi and Simeon, y'all going to be fighting, man. You know, this is so cool. You're going to be fighting all the time, man. Yeah. You know, he's letting you know who they are and how you appear, how you are, how you act. These are your understandings of who you are. You have to know the 12 tribes of Israel And these verses that we're reading in Genesis 49 let us know what we call our characteristics. Okay? This is a prophecy that Jacob gave. He said, let me sit you down here and talk to you. Matter of fact, let's go back and read that again. If you could for me, Baba Gashah, verse, I like to read this before we finished with verse 14, didn't we?
Come on, finish up with verse
Go,
14.
read for me again, 48 and 21.
I got you.
Mm-hmm. Genesis 48 and 21. Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 48, verse 21.
Right.
And Israel said unto Joseph,
Right.
behold, I die.
See, Joseph knew, and we're going to reiterate, man. Joseph knew he was dying, man. He knew and dying, but he couldn't dare leave his 12 sons out there. This is a pivotal point in Israel. Had he not told them who the hell we were, I wouldn't know who I was, Judah, man. But the Most High is smart. He's a genius. He lets his people know who they are. So this devil Edomite won't continue to tear us apart. You know, let this Babylon wicked fall. Finish reading for a minute again. Israel did what?
Behold, I die. But God shall be with you.
But God shall be with you. That's exactly right. See, he's got the word for the Most High. Finish reading.
And bring you again into the land of your fathers.
That's right. Bring you again to the land of your father. Eventually, you know, that's where they came. In other words, they wound up in the promised land over in Jerusalem until we got kicked out in 70 AD. But finish reading.
Verse 22.
Uh-huh.
Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above thy brother.
He told Joseph, look, man, I've given you a one portion above your brother, because that's what he needed. You know, that's the inheritance that he was given. And then, of course, finish reading.
Which I took out the hand of the Amorite with my sword and with my bow.
Okay, yeah. What time we got?
11:17.
Okay, we're gonna read one more and then we'll try to get some more direction here. Finish. Go to 15 through what we got.
Should be the
24.
Yeah, we can. It should be to the end of 22.
21, isn't it?
Right.
We're gonna include. So read 14 to 21.
Okay. Genesis 49 and 14. Yasha.
Wait a minute. 20, isn't it? Sorry, wait a minute.
49. Chapter 49.
Yeah, read for me. Read for me 14. Well, did we do I'm sorry, 15. 15, I'm sorry, 15 to 21. There you go. Read 15 to 21 for me if you could, Baba Gashah.
Okay. Genesis 49 and 15.
Right.
Wayara'a manaka ha kaya sawat tawaba tawa wa'ata ratza kaya na'a maha wayata shaka ma wa lasa ba la wa'aha ya. It's like wayaha ya lama sa albada.
Yeah.
Verse 16. Dana ya yada ya ka
No, that's not selected.
yada yak na alma wa ka kada shabataya yasha ra al yasharala. Yeah. Verse 17. Yahaya Daka,
Then not.
Dana, Nakasha,
So what credit?
Allah Ya.
Yabashim Yabashab Rakta.
Do 17, do 17, no?
Verse 17. Yahaya, Dana, Nakasha, Allah Ya, Daraka,
Damn right.
Shapaya, Paka,
Nah.
Pana, one more time. Shapaya, Pana,
Damn right.
Araka, Hanasha, Ka, Kwa, Baya, Sawasa, Waya, Pa, La, Rakaba, Wa, Alka, Wara, Laya, Sha, verse 18. Laya, Sha, Wa'a, Taka, Kwawaya, Ya, Yaha, Wa, Ha, yeah. Come.
Yeah, just let him read it through mistakes and all. Go ahead. Unless he stopped, okay? Go ahead.
Gada, verse 19. Gada, Gadawa, Da, Yagawa, Da, Nawa, Wahawa, Yaga, Da, Alquaba, Ma'asha, Shamanaha, Lakamahwa, Wahawa'a, it's like Yathan, Ma'a, Dana, Ya, Malaka, verse 21.
Yeah.
Napata Laya, Aya Laha, Shalakaha, Hanata, Hanatana, Amaraya, Shapar. Whoa, which verse? 22.
Stop right there. Okay. Let's go back to 15. Give me 15, the last 15 through 7 verses there. 15 to 21.
Gotcha. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 15. And he saw that the rest was good.
Start at verse 14 so we can get the connection there. Go ahead.
Gotcha. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, and verse 14.
Right.
Isupk is a strong ass.
And who was Issachar? Who we said Issachar was? Who was Issachar?
The Mexicans.
The Mexicans, that's right. That's our brothers. Go ahead, finish reading.
Is a strong ass, couching down between two burdens.
Right.
Verse 15. And he saw that the rest was good.
And so Issachar, when he takes a rest, man, you know, if you know anything about Mexican, you go over there in Mexico, man. You know anything about them, boy? They take a siesta.
Right.
They take a siesta. That's our brothers, man. Issachar, strong Mexican brothers who pick our cotton and pick our crops in our fields. You know, and they pick anything out there to be picked. They work, man.
Damn right.
They some hard workers, man. And if they probably some of them still down there picking cotton. And, you know, ain't no telling. Go ahead.
Not so like if I may. See, I live out there in the country. Like,
Right.
man, you got Mexicans, our brothers, the Hispanic brothers,
That's right.
The Mexicans, man. They work so damn hard, man.
That's right.
So damn hard,
Right.
man. They do the jobs nowadays that you wouldn't even want to do them
That's
no more, man.
That's
Right.
true. You're
You
right about
understand?
that. Exactly.
And they know when to take their rest.
Right. They know they take their rest. They take a siesta, man.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just when it's time for. Listen, they don't when they go through a row of apples, man, they pick every apple that can be picked off that tree. I watched them work. Go ahead.
It's like it by me.
Right, go ahead.
Man, I had the nerve to go out there and work with them boys one time.
Right.
I was like, God damn. Like, I called the boys Iron Man Migo.
Right.
Because it's like they get through one whole row.
Right.
And you still on that first little tree or whatever
They
you
don't
doing,
play
man.
around, man. They don't play around. That's
Right.
how Issachar. That's why it says, and it says, read verse 15 for me again.
Mm-hmm. Verse 15.
Up with y'all.
And he saw that the rest was good.
That's rest. He gonna need that.
Right.
You know, that's a siesta. But finish reading.
And the land that it was pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
And bowed his shoulders to Baal.
Right.
And became a servant unto the tribute.
A servant unto the tribute, man. He's a servant. Issachar is a hard worker.
Damn right.
You know, that's what Jacob was telling his children. Say he pulled Issachar and said, "Look, this is what's gonna befall you, man. This is a prophecy in the last days to tell you who our people are, man. All of the 12 tribes of Israel, Jacob was telling his people right before he died, man. He was telling his sons. I'm sorry, Salaki. Telling his sons, just, you know, he was going down the line, telling them when he got up to Issachar, you know, told Judah, you know, the blacks, you know, was letting you know who you gonna be. You know, strong lion, man. Christ is gonna come through your land. He thought Issachar, man, you're gonna be a strong worker, man, and you're gonna need that. You're gonna take your rest. He's gonna tell them all his character was about him. Finish verse 16.
Verse 16.
Right.
Dan shall judge his people
Right.
as one of the tribes of Israel.
Right. And Dan, of course, I think got scattered out into one of these other tribes. I can't remember which one it was. Go ahead.
So like if I may, it was Ephraim and
I
Manasseh.
think it was Ephraim and Manasseh. Yeah, I believe that's what it was. But Dan, shall judge his people and as one of the tribes of Israel. But finish reading.
Verse 17. Dan shall be a serpent by the way,
Right.
and adder in the path, that biteth the horse heel, so that his rider shall fall backward. Good night.
He ain't playing around, is it? Finish reading for Bobby Shot. Wow.
Verse 18.
Right.
I have waited for the salvation, O Lord.
Right.
Verse 19.
Uh-huh.
Gad, a trooper shall overcome him.
And who is Gad? What tribe is that? What tribe is Gad? Go ahead.
That's our Native American
It's
Indian.
our Native American Indians, and once we just had one of our officers right here. He is officially a tribe of the North American Indian, man, Gad. So we scattered. We got all tribes. We got all 12 nations represented in ISUBK, man. We got everybody here that Jacob was talking about. That's who we are. And that's what it say. We're gonna let you know what shall befall you, man, these last days. Well, so we'll know who we are. These are our characteristics. And Gad was hunted down by the troops anyway. United States troops. Go ahead and read that at verse 19.
Verse 19.
Uh-huh.
Gad, a troop shall overcome him.
And who's that troop? The American troop. Troopers, you know, this evil 4th and 5th Cavalry, man, who broke over 600 treaties, man, that they still haven't repaired today. That they went after Gad, and that Gad is the tribe that the trail, they famous for the Trail of Tears, because, you know, they took our babies, dashed their heads against the rock, because the wives of Gad's wives, you know, they wasn't, when they had babies, man, in their hand, and they wasn't moving slow. So this killed them, dashed their heads against the rock, man. This is how they treat our people, man. This is what the Edomites is doing, what they did to the children of Gad. Finish reading for me, verse 19.
Verse 19.
Uh-huh.
Gad, a troop shall overcome him,
Uh-huh.
but he shall overcome at the last.
Right, he shall overcome at the last, okay? You know, the Gad, you know, they get out there. The Most High is going to take care of Israel. I mean, he's going to take care of us. And that's what Joseph was saying, you know. But Gad was mistreated, man. I mean, they live out there. I've been out there, what was that? In Vegas, in the desert out there, man, and all those areas out there. you couldn't grow any crops out there. I've seen it, man. It's like desert. You know, if you did, you'd have to irrigate it. And even if you did, the water's bitter with sulfur. That's why I was asking people, man. I said, what's going on here? Why is the land so cheap? Some of the land's cheap because the wells, when you dig, you got to get a water source, man, to live out there. So they put them on some bad land out there, man. They took all the choice lands, all the land back east, and then they drove our people out there, the Trail of Tears. I mean, these are historical records that you can find out what happened to Gad, the North American Indian, man. And one of our officers, he just gave a documentary story about it to let you know what happened to Gad and how we got stuck out there. But you need to understand, if you are a Native American Indian, man, you need to understand that you are part of the 12 tribes of Israel, man.
Right.
You are. You know, if you're North American, Christopher Columbus and all these other fools that come up here talking about they discover Earth, Amerigo Vespucci, sitting up here talking about it's their land. You know, it's the land, it's Gad. You know, this is our land. This is Native American Indian lands, man, and Reuben and all, you know, it's this North Seminole Indians. This is our land, man. They don't own this land. You know, all they did was just come and conquer us through violence and breaking treaties. We sitting up here trying to show them how to live off the land, or they would have died in the winter. What did Gad do? Try to help them, man. You know, show them how to live off the land. Show them how to eat the deer. Show them how to live. What do we get for it? Conquered, smallpox, blankets, you know, massacred. You know, this is what they did to our people, man. You know, finish reading for me, Baba Gashah, if you could. What is it, Gad? Verse 20?
Verse 20.
Verse
20.
Right.
Out of Asher his bread shall be fat.
Right. Asher, man. That's down there in let's see, what tribe is Asher? Anybody know? Go ahead.
The Colombia to Uruguay.
Colombia to Uruguay, man, and that's down there. This is South American area.
Yep.
And there's a lot of rich, fertile land down there. I mean, fertile. So when it said his bread shall be fat, I mean he can grow a lot down there. But these are our people. A lot of people don't realize that we're scattered around the earth, man. You know, the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians are the 12 tribes of Israel, and Asher was one of them. You know, Colombia to Uruguay, man. This guy can go down there and grow grapes. You know that are probably a clasp of grapes that you probably couldn't even fit in your hands. I mean, you know, so when it says, read that for me again, verse 20.
Verse 20. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat.
Right, finish reading.
And he shall yield royal dainties.
Royal dainties, man. That means, you know, that he's going to yield. This fruit is going to yield. That means he's going to have a lot of fruit, a lot of oranges, man, with naranga. You know, that's what they call them, oranges, you know, down there. You know, grapes, uvas, you know, in their language, man, but in Spanish. But see, they have grapes. I'm pretty sure they grow all kinds of crops and some crops down there they grow that we don't need to be smoking down there either. Yeah, but anyway, they're gonna yield royal crops of dainty, man. That means that they have when they go in there when they go down in their land, man. They got the coffee down there, man. They had the coffee beans. I'm talking about, you're not talking about something where, like in my land, man, I got to put a bunch of fertilizer with it just to make it grow. You know, but down there, shoot, you drop seed in the ground, it's going to grow, even by accident, because the soil is fertile, and that's what the Bible says right here. It says, read that for me again, Asher.
Verse 20. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat.
His bread shall be fat, man. And what else?
And he shall yield royal dainties.
And he's gonna yield plenty of fruit and royal dainties, man. It's gonna have nice land down there, and that's where and see and that's where the white man took Asher and enslaved him down there. You know, in some of these lands, as a matter of fact. And all those lands up in there, if they didn't make enough crop, if they didn't do right, they cut their hands off, man. That's what they did, especially when they was looking for gold and silver and all these different things, man. But anyway, they would grow food down there to take care of a lot of their situation down there. A lot of food can grow down there in that area. Because I had a buddy of mine that used to live down in there. He understood that he used to work down in that area, and it's very a fertile land. Very. That's so. So this is what go back. This is what Joseph was letting the 12 tribes of Israel know what shall befall them, know who they are, so that they'll know. So we'll know when we wake up out of our stupor, say, "Oh yeah, man." And since 1969, Commanding General Yohana has the Spirit has come to the ISUPK to let us know to read the Bible, and this is how we know. You know, the Most High has given it to us so we can understand who the 12 tribes of Israel, so we can understand who Judah is. You know, Zebulun, Simeon, Levi, Benjamin, you know, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and then Issachar. So we'll know who we are, you know. We won't give a damn about the rest of the world. They know. They know who we are anyway. They know they put us on these slave ships and worked us from day in and day out. You know, but the Most High letting you know who we are. He's letting you know. Go ahead. What was that? Verse 21. Uh-huh.
Verse 21. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth God goodly words.
Yeah, read that again for me.
Naphtali.
You said Napa. It's Naphtali.
Naphtali.
Right.
Is a hind let loose.
Right.
He giveth goodly words.
And who is Naphtali? Go ahead.
Argentina and Chile.
Now, Argentina and Chile. Those are people down there. If you go down to Argentina and Chile, that's still South America down in there. Argentina and Chile. South America's a big country, man. Mm-hmm. And it says what about them?
They are a hind let loose.
Right.
He giveth God goodly words.
Right. Goodly words. Right. He finished good words. He give good words. I'm sorry, Salaki. Naphtali. Read verse 22 for me there.
Verse 22. Joseph is a fruitful boat.
Right. So we supposed to read that. Is that
Yeah,
seven more? We got to read seven more?
This is the last one, 22.
That last one, what time we got?
We got 137. 1137.
11:37. Finish read. Let's read seven more. We're going to read from to 27. We're going to read. We want to read all the way to Benjamin there. We're going to read. We're going to read to 28. We're going to read verse 22 to 28 in the Hebrew and the English. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Genesis 49 and 22. Baka. Bana. Parata. Yawasa. Bana. Parata. Alya. Alyana. Banawata. Taza'ada ha. Alya. Shawara. Wayama raraha wa. Waraba wa. Wayata. Oh, it's like Waya Sha Tamaha wa. Baal ya. Kataza Yama. Verse 24. Wata Shaba. Ba'a ya. Baka. Kwashatawa. Wayapa zawa zara ya yada ya wa ma yada ya abaya ra ya kwa Masha Ma. Ra'al Ha. Abaka. Aban. Yasharal. Ma.
Yeah.
Verse 25. Ma'ala. Abaya. Abaya. Ka. Waya Zaraka. Wa'ata. Shadaya. Waya Baraka. Ka. Barakata. Shamaya Ma. Ma'al. Barakata. Tahawam. Rabatazata. Takata. Barakata. Shadayam. Warakama. Verse 26. Barakata. Abaya. Ka. Gaba Rawa. Al. Barakata. Hawa Raya. Ada. Ta'awata. Gaba Ata. Awalam. Tahayaya. Taza. Taha Yayana. Lara Sha. Yawasa. Wa'akwa. Walakwa. Da. Kwa. Da. Naza Yara. Alka Yawa. Verse 20. Go to 28, right?
28, because I 27.
Go to 27.
Okay. Banaya Maya Na Zaaba Yapa Ra Yata Rakpa Baba Kwa Ra Yaaka La Alda Wala Rabah Yaka Lahqua Shalala.
Amen.
Very good. All right. Pick it up for me in the English, verse 22. Read all the way to 27 for me, if you could, Baba Gashah.
Gotcha, God. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 22. Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well whose branches run over the wall.
I mean, Joseph, you know, that tribe is Manasseh and Ephraim together, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what those tribes are, because Joseph's sons. You know, who is Ephraim? Go ahead.
Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican. Who's Manasseh?
Cubans.
Okay, and Puerto Riches, you know, and Cuba. And Cuba also, they call them down there, those islands down there, man. Those are our people, man. The Most High. It said Joseph is a fruitful bow, man, even a fruitful bough by a well whose branches run over the wall, man. You know this. And if your branches run over the wall, it means you got a lot of them. A lot of them, okay? The branches run over the wall. Finish reading for me, Baba Kashah. Read that again, verse 22.
Verse 22. Joseph is a fruitful ball, even a fruitful ball by a well, which whose branches run over the wall.
Right. Finish reading verse 23. Go to 23, I'm sorry.
23. The archers had sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him.
Right. You know, they have enemies, you know, like anything else. The Most High has given us the characteristics of who we are, you know. Finish reading, go to verse 24.
Verse 24. But this is how, but his bow,
This is his bow.
Abide in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob.
Right.
From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel.
The stone of Israel. Right, okay. Read verse 25.
Even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessings of the breast, and blessings of the womb.
Right, and if you notice in Ephraim, man, they're lively, man. They have a lot of children. What did it say? Blessings of the what?
Blessings of the breast,
Right.
and blessings of the womb.
You know, those are babies. They got plenty of babies, man. Plenty of children. Ephraim don't play around. I mean, he don't have just one or two. He got 6, 7, 10. You know, Cubans. They have a lot too. But they're brothers, man. And because they came from Joseph anyway. Okay, so Ephraim, you know, Puerto Rico, the Puerto Riches, when the white man came down there and tried to steal everything he could steal.
Right.
Puerto Riches, everything. If there's a stone on there, you know, find it. You know, you know. Matter of fact, like I said before, they used to. If I think I read something that would say they used to cut their hands off you and come up with enough gold, man. You know, they treat our people with cruelty, man. You know. But anyway, the Bible says, read for me again, verse 25.
Verse 25.
Right.
Verse 25. Even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above,
Right.
blessings of the deep that lieth, that deep that lieth under, blessings of the breast,
Blessings of the what?
of the breast,
Of the breast, man. I mean, you know, like I said, it's if you know anything about Puerto Rico, they're lively, man. They're women. You know, they have plenty of children. And blessings of the what? Breast and the what?
and of the womb.
And of the womb. See? You know, they're going to have that. If you got that blessed, I mean, they got plenty of milk to feed their children. The womb. You know, they going to have a lot of babies. Right? That's it. Finish reading. Verse 26.
Verse 26. The blessings of the father have prevailed above the blessings of the progenitors unto the uttermost bound of the everlasting hills.
Right.
They shall be on the head of Joseph,
Right.
and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren.
Separate from his brothers. Okay? But that's your Ephraim, and Joseph had the Ephraim and Manasseh tribe. That's what turns into those two tribes right there. Verse, where we at? Verse 27? I mean, Bob Kushah.
Verse 27. Oh, it's like you.
Verse 27?
Come.
All right.
Verse 27. Benjamin.
Who is Benjamin? Anybody? Which tribe is Benjamin? One of our tribes. Go ahead.
I believe Seminole.
Nah, go ahead and read the charts, what they say. Find it.
Oh, slug.
Go ahead.
West Indian.
West Indian. Every tribe, that's why we put them up there. Every tribe up there we have every tribe up there. And say it again. Benjamin is who?
Oh, the West Indian.
The West Indies, man. That's the West Indies found down there. You know, that's your people were Jamaicans. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Trinidad. Bahamas, exactly right. That's down there in the West Indies. There's the Indies, man. That's where they put them down there picking sugar cane, rice. You know, that's where their tribe went down there. The Esau and the slave catchers and our oppressor, you know, put our people down there and said we're gonna drop them off on the ship down there in the West Indies, man. You know, Trinidad and Tobago and all this, all the Bahamas down there. Those are West Indies tribes, man, in Jamaica, where they grow sugar cane, and some of them, I'm pretty sure some of them was cotton down there, but rice, things like that. They knew where to drop them off at. They knew how to work our people to death, and Benjamin was no different, man. The West Indies. But finish reading for me, Baba Kushar, verse 27. Benjamin did what?
Benjamin shall raven as a wolf.
Yeah. Go ahead.
In the morning he shall devour the prey.
Right.
And at night he shall divide the spoil.
And if anybody know anything about Jamaicans and down there, man, they got some fish. If they got 2 fish, you're going to get one of them. They divide them up, gut them up. If they got some deers or whatever they got down there, some meat, cattle, they make a cookout, man. Benjamin like to share, man. That's the way it is. He make a pot of stew with some beef stew. What do they call it, cabeza? Some beef stew. Go ahead. What is it?
The basil. What's the other one?
Mm-hmm. When he makes stew and meat and bread, Benjamin, man, he shares. Read that for me again. Benjamin did what?
Verse 27.
Benjamin
shall raven as a wolf.
Right. Strong, man. I mean, go ahead. Howling wolf.
In the morning he shall devour the prey.
Right. He gonna hunt something. Go ahead.
And at night he shall divide the spoil.
And he's gonna come home, man, when he got those spoils, man, he gonna make sure the whole village eat. Ain't gonna make no baby gonna be sitting down there and go, ain't no teenager gonna be saying, I'm hungry. They gonna make sure they go down there. I'm talking about, of course, we the children of Israel. We ain't talking about coming back with no lizards. They ain't gonna come back with no conies and no rabbits, we're the children of Israel. They gonna come back with some meat, some beef, if it ain't nothing but some quail, he's gonna make sure that our people got something to eat down there in the West Indies, man. That's what it is. And we'll finish our reading by the English. Go to verse 28 until it's time for us to stop, okay? So start 28. We're going to go and read these last 4 or 5 verses, and then we'll stop at 50, okay?
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
Verse 28.
Uh-huh.
All these are the 12 tribes of Israel.
All these are the 12 tribes of Israel. This is what Jacob, known Israel, he's telling his boys, telling his children, the 12 tribes of Israel, where they would be situated, where they would be found, and what blessing would be upon them, man. He's letting us know who we are. Letting Judah know that the tribe the scepter would not pass from him, letting them know that Yahushua is going to come here. That's why Christ, our King, Lord, and Savior, came from Judah, man. He came, and how will we know that unless our forefathers told us that? We know. Verse 28, finish reading that again. I'm sorry, Papa John.
Verse 28. Mm-hmm. And these are the 12 tribes of Israel.
All these are
the 12 tribes of Israel.
These are the 12 tribes of who?
Of Israel.
All these are the 12 tribes of Israel. Finish reading for me, Baba Kushai.
And this is it, that their fathers spake unto them.
Right.
And blessed them.
And did what?
And blessed them.
And did what?
Blessed
and
them.
Blessed them. Okay? This is how we know, man. We know. It's a blessing to really know who you are. It's a blessing to have Christ come through Judah. It's a blessing to have Isupk to understand what his rest is. It's a blessing to have Gad to understand who he is, and Reuben and Naphtali, Asher and Zebulun and Simeon, and Levi. It's and Benjamin, sharing with his brothers. Go ahead.
And blessed them, everyone according to his blessing. He blessed them.
Right, everyone according to his blessing. He did what?
He blessed them.
Verse 29.
Mm-hmm. Verse 29. And he charged them.
What does it mean he charged them? What does that mean? When he said charge them. When he said charge them. Finish reading it out for me. Verse 29.
Verse 29. And he charged them and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people. Bury me.
Right. Go ahead. Finish reading. I'm sorry. Slack it.
Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephraim and Hittite.
The Hittite, right. So when he said he's charged them, what he's saying is that he's telling them.
Right.
He's giving them an order.
Right.
When our camp leader says, I charge you, what he's saying is I'm giving you order. This ain't like Kazak, you might be able to do this. If he said do this, then you get yourself, and he's charging you. He's telling you. So that's what he's saying right here. He's telling you, and he did what? Verse 29?
And and he charged them and said unto them,
Right.
I am to be gathered unto my people.
Right.
Bury me.
Gathered unto him. He want to make sure he go back to his people, man. He don't want to be living down here in this African land and with these stinking Hamites and eating lizards and dogs and cats and whatever the hell that they can put in their mouth. He don't want to be around these heathens, man. Finish reading for me, Baba Kashab.
Bury me with my fathers in the cave
Right.
that is in the field
Right.
of Ephraim the Hittite.
Right. Bury me. Okay, finish reading.
Verse 30.
Uh-huh.
In the cave that is in the field of Machpelah,
That's it.
which is before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham
in the
bought with
land of where?
in the land of Canaan.
The land of Canaan. See, that's the land of his forefathers. That's where they wanted to make sure that they wound up and put them right back into the land from which they came. Go ahead.
Which Abraham bought with the field of Ephraim the Hittite for a possession of a burying place.
That's why he bought that possession. He didn't want to give him to no, but he owned that. Bury me back with my fathers. That's the land where the dignity. He wanted that dignity to make sure he's buried back with his fathers, man. Not down there with these pharaohs that slept with each other's wives and ate anything and probably slept with their sisters. Ain't no damn telling. These people were heathens, man. See, we got laws, statutes, and commandments, but we don't do stuff like that. That's why Jacob said, "Look, bury me with my people, man." Finish reading for me.
31, verse 31. There they buried Abraham and Sarah his wife.
Right, he buried Abraham and Sarah his wife. Finish reading for me.
There they buried Isaac and Rebekah his wife.
Right.
And there I buried Leah.
Right. I buried Leah. See, that's all the fall he buried his wife, Abraham and Sarah. They're buried there, and they buried Isaac and Rebekah. Started this, got all this 12 tribes up in here. Started from Abraham. But this talking about the lineage of our people are buried there, man. You want to be buried with your people there. Go ahead.
Verse 32. The purchase of the field and of the cave that is therein was from the children of Heth.
Right. He's letting them know, the field. Read that again for me. The purchase.
The purchase of the field and of the cave that is therein was from the children of Heth.
He's letting them know. He's letting them know where that, from. He's letting them know, where's who bought this, because you don't want to let them know that you don't, man, you don't want to just bury somebody, put them there, they dig him and get him out and say, man, this ain't yours. Throw you out in the desert and you roll down left to right. It was a custom our people to bury our people, man, with dignity. And, and they had plots and burial. In this case, it was a cave. They had plots where we would be buried, we didn't put our people out and burn them or whatever. We put our people in where? Read that for me again. Verse 32.
Verse 32. The purchase of the field and of the cave.
Right.
That is therein was from the children of Heth.
The field and the cave. They already had this plot laid out where they can bury the progenitors of us, of our people. From Abraham, Sarah his wife, and buried Isaac and Rebekah and his wife. And there I buried Leah. Okay? We were buried, man, in a place, in places where we in dignity, where the Most High wanted us to be buried at, man, not just in some land. I mean, I can understand Jacob say, look, man, please don't let me die up in here. I mean, he gonna be dead. Why would he care? He cared because he wanted to be buried with his father. That's how we see things. That's how we saw stuff, man. We have the laws, statutes, and commandments that we keep. No other people on the face of this earth that keeps the Most High law, statute, commandment, but Yahushua's people, and that's us. Okay, all right. Finish reading from where we at, verse
33.
Uh-huh.
Verse 33.
Right.
And when Jacob had made an end of commanding his sons,
Uh-huh.
he gathered up his feet
Right.
into the bed
Right.
and yielded up the ghost.
What does it mean to yield up the ghost? Anybody? What does that mean? He yielded up the ghost. He died. And where'd that ghost come from? Where'd that spirit, Rawa'ak, come from? Come from the Most High. Right? When it says yield up the ghost, in other words, he died. You can only go back, life can only come back from where life came from. So he yielded up the ghost. Finish reading, start there for me again, verse 33.
Verse 33.
Uh-huh.
And when Jacob had made an end of commanding his sons,
Right.
he gathered up his feet into the bed,
Right.
and yielded up the ghost,
Right. Uh-huh.
and was gathered unto his people.
Right. He didn't gather into his people. He gathered up his feet. That means, he probably got in a crouch position, man, like he was in the mother womb. He was losing his heat. You lose your heat, you're ready to die. So he yielded up the ghost, man. He gave it back to the Most High where it came from. In other words, he yielded it up. It went back to the Most High from which it came from. And that's why they wanted to bury his body, in his grave, so we'll understand. He yielded up the ghost and did what?
And was gathered unto his people.
He was gathered unto his people, man. And so we're going to stop it right there, Papa Shah. We're going to stop on verse 50. We'll pick that up next week, and we'll, is that right? We're going to stop it on verse 50. Stop it on verse 50. We're going to stop it on verse 50 there, and we'll come back next week, and we'll pick it up there. Okay? Majin? Going to, let's see, salute the Torah, right? We're going to salute this Torah. Okay, we'll pick the Torah up. Blow the horn.
First you do offer the drink.
Concert. Lock yourself.
Go to it.
La Yashala.
Mashallah.
All right, you blow the horn.
Good enough.
And then men of Israel prepare to salute the Torah.
Men of Israel, prepare to salute the Torah.
All right, you turn and face him. He salutes.
How about Shem Yahshua Yah?
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabrak, yeah.
Yahweh Shimei Shabrakah. All right, then you go back up. You hand it off the shore, and then you salute it.
Yahweh Shem Shabrak Yah.
Right? And then the prayers.
Okay.
Everybody's already standing, so you don't have to say Amadim. You say Wapan Yahakwadim, which means the face towards the east.
Wapan Yahakulim. That means face the east.
Right? And then, of course, the prayers.
This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakukah, Taba'ah, Watazayaka, Hayah, Asha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Latan, Lanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalat Lanawa, Kabawak Yanawa, Kasalat Lanawa, Kabawak Yanawa, Wala'ah, Taba'ayanawa, Banasayawan, Abba, Hayashaya now, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha Allah, Waha Atapara, La'awalamya, Aman.
What he said in the English, was our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
thy kingdom come,
thy kingdom come,
thy will be done,
thy will be done,
as it is on earth,
as it is on earth.
Give us this day,
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts,
Forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors,
as we forgive our debtors.
Lead us not
Into
temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us,
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
thine is the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it. Bless Israel. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashim.
Bahashim.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wayashar Allah.
Wayashar.
Salaki. Salaki. Wahabayah.
Wahabiyah.
Sapari.
Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Rafa'ah.
Rafa'ah.
Magun.
Magun.
Hagun.
Hagun.
Bahashim Yahweh Shah.
Bahashim Yahweh Shah.
The water.
The water.
Aman.
Aman.
What he said in English. Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shah,
Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shah.
bless us.
Salaki, hold on one second. You would say Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shah. Right? When you read it in English, you would replace Lord and Jesus with Yahweh and Yahweh Shah.
Come on, God.
All right? Go ahead. You got it.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh
Bless
Shah.
us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
The school.
The school.
Bless, heal,
Bless you.
Bless heal.
shield and protect.
Shield and protect.
The loved ones.
The loved ones.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Hakak the power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashim.
Bahashim.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Babakashah.
Babakashah.
Natalanaw.
Natalanaw.
Hakak.
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 Larafa'ah.
Larafa'ah.
Kamakala.
Kamakala.
Wakal.
Wakal.
Marawa.
Marawa.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Hamatazari.
Hamatazari.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lahakwim.
Lahakwim.
Hamathium.
Hamathium.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Arakawath.
Arakawath.
Hatama'ala.
Amatala.
Lagarshan.
Lagarsha.
Bahashim.
Bahashim.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
The water.
The water.
Aman.
Aman.
What he said in English. The Most High, in the name of Yahweh Shah.
Most High in the name of Yahweh Shah.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
Power to heal.
Power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
Power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the
Power
dead.
against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean
Power to
spirits.
cast them out.
The power to cast them
In the
out.
name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. This is Psalms 121. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Anyanya.
Anyanya.
Al.
Al.
Haharia.
Haharia.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yama'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Azaria.
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 Ma'ayin.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Asha.
Shah.
Shamyam.
Shamyah.
Ma'aratza.
Maratza.
Ayatan.
Ayatan.
Yam Lamawat.
Salawat.
Ragalka.
Regalka.
Al.
Al.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yashua Allah.
Yasha'Allah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Talska.
Tazalka.
Tazalka. Salaki. Tazalka.
Tazalka is Tazalka. Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Ali Ai.
Ayai.
Yamyanka.
Yamka.
Salaki. Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yaka. Salaki. Yaka. Yaka.
I think it's Yak. Is Yak. What I said.
Yakaka.
Yakaka. Come on,
That's
sir.
correct.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamraka.
Yasham.
Salaki. Let me do it again. Yashamraka.
Yashamlaka.
Makal.
Makal.
Rai.
Rai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Atah.
Atah.
Napashka.
Napashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Tazaatka.
Tazaatka.
Wawawatka.
Wawatka.
Ma'atah.
Ma'atah.
Wa'ai.
Wa'aid.
Awalam.
Awalam. Those are words.
What he said in English. I will lift up mine eyes.
I will lift up mine
To
eyes
the hills.
into the hills.
Which cometh my help.
Which cometh my
My
help.
help cometh from from Yahweh.
My help coming from Yahweh.
Who made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth
shall
Israel
neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is a shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right
The sun
hand.
shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
Nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
From all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going
And
out
thy coming in.
and thy coming
From this
in.
time forth.
From this time forward.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore. This is Psalms 83. Alahaya.
Alahayim.
Adamaya.
Adamaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Al.
Al.
Takarash.
Takarash.
Wa'al.
Wa'al.
Tashakwat.
Tashakwat.
Al.
Al.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Hana.
Ana.
Awabanyaka.
Albanyaka.
Yahama.
Yahama.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al.
Ah.
Amaka.
Amaka.
Ya'aryam.
Ya'arim.
Sawada.
Sawada.
Wayata.
Wayada.
Ya'atazawa.
Ya'atazawa.
Al.
Al.
Tazapanyaka.
Tazapanyaka.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakidam.
Wanakakidam.
Magawaya.
Magawaya.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham.
Sham.
Yasra'ala.
Yashra'ala.
Awada.
Awada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa'atazawa. Nawa'a.
Nawa'a.
Tazawa.
Tazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakarwa.
Yakadwa.
Alyaka.
Alyaka.
Boryath.
Aryath.
Yakarawath.
Yakawath.
Ahalia.
Ahalia.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wa.
Wa.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Alayam.
Aliyam.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagariam.
Wagari.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wamawan.
Wamawam.
Wa'amalak.
Wamalak.
Palashath.
Palashath.
Aim.
I.
Yasabia.
Yashabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gum.
Gam.
Ashawar.
Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Amar.
Amma.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarawa.
Zarawa.
Labanya.
Labanya.
Lawat.
Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Asha.
Asha.
Laham.
Laham.
Kamadian.
Kamadian.
Kasaya.
Kasaya.
Sara'ah.
Sara'ah.
Kayabian.
Kayabian.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Kwayash.
Kwayash.
One.
One.
Nasha.
Nashad. Is it
Shalak.
Nashatamwa?
Yes, that's right.
Nashatamwa.
Yashamo Shalaki. Nasha
Nasha.
Madawa.
Tamwa.
Nasha Madwa.
Go, so like say one more time.
Nasha Madwa.
Okay, Nashad Madwa.
Ma'ai.
Ma'ai.
Yanda Ara.
Yadwa.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La Adama.
Ladama.
Sayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Nada.
Nada.
Yapmawa.
Yamawa.
Ka'ara'a.
Karawa.
Wakasa'aba.
Wakazah.
Wakasabak.
Wakazabak.
Wakatazalka.
Wakazal.
Wakazalka. Mana'a.
Mana'ai.
Ka.
Ka.
Nasayamaka. Salaki. Nasaya Kamwa.
Nasayatamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amawa.
Arwa.
Nayar. Salaki. I'm just bringing it. Nayar Ashar.
Is it Nayar?
Come on, concert. Salaki. Nayar Rash. Salaki. Nayar.
Not it can't be Nayar. It's got to be Nayar.
Right. Nayar Rasha.
You still saying Nayar.
Salaki. Nayar. Naya.
Nayar.
Nayar Rasha.
Nayar Rasha.
Lanawa.
Now,
Ath.
Ah.
Na'awath.
Na'awa.
Alahaya.
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 Alaya.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Kagalia Galia.
Kagalia.
Kokosh.
Kokosh.
Lapanya.
Lapanya.
Rakar.
Ka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Ta'abra Ya'ara.
Tawa Ya'ira. Ya'ira.
Wakalaba.
Wakalaba.
Talahat,
Talahat,
Harayam,
Aryam,
Khan,
Khan,
Taradakma,
Taradakma,
Masa Araka,
Masa Iraka,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wabatak,
Wabatak,
Taba'alaham,
Taba'alaham,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Panyaham,
Panyaham,
Kwalawam,
Kwalawam,
Waya,
Waya,
Bakwashwan,
Bakwashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa.
Yab-
It's like, you can do that over.
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
there you
Nabashwa,
go. Yabashwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Bahaliwa,
Bahad,
Adya,
Ayah,
Ai,
Ayah,
Alia Ai,
Ayah,
Waya,
Waya,
Kapawa, Waya,
Waya,
Abadwa, Waya,
Waya,
Da'awa,
Yahweh,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Ata,
Ata,
Shabka,
Shabka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labarka,
Labarka,
Ayawan,
Ayawan,
Alkaha Rataza.
Said in English is keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still.
And be not still, O Yahweh. For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumble.
And they that hate thee,
And they
that hate
have
thee,
lifted up their head.
they lift up their
They have
heads,
taken crafty counsel.
and taking crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy
And
people,
consulted against thy hidden ones.
and consulted against thy
They
hidden
have
ones.
said,
They have said,
Come,
Come.
let us cut them off.
Let us cut them off
From being a nation.
from being a
In
nation.
the name of Israel.
In the name of
There
Israel.
be no more remembrance.
There be no more in
They
remembrance.
have consulted together.
They have consulted together
With one consent.
with one
They
consent.
have confederate against thee.
They have confederate against
The
thee,
tabernacles of
the
Edom.
tabernacles of Edom,
Of Ishmaelites.
of Ishmaelites,
Of Moab.
Moab,
Of the Hagarenes.
of the Hagarenes,
Gabal.
Gabal,
And Ammon.
and Ammon,
And Amalek.
and Amalek,
And the Philistines.
and Philistines,
And the inhabitants of Tyre.
and the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assurance also joined with them.
Assurance also joined with
They
them.
have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah,
Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
as unto the Midianites,
As to Syria.
as to Syria,
As to Jabin.
as Jabin,
At the brook of Kasan.
at the brook of Kasan,
Which perished at Endor.
which perished at
They
Endor.
become the dung of the earth.
They become dung of the earth.
Their nobles like a ram.
Make their nobles like a ram,
Like Zeeb.
and like Zeeb.
Yea, all the princes of Zabah.
and all the princes of
And
Zabah,
Zamuna.
and Zamuna,
Who said.
who have said,
Let us take to ourselves.
let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of Yahweh in possession.
the house of Yahweh in possession.
Oh, Yahweh.
O Yahweh,
Make them like a wheel.
make them like a wheel,
As to stumble before the wind.
as a stumble before the
And
wind,
the fire that burneth a wood.
the fire that burns
As
the wood,
flame setteth the mountains on fire.
as the flame set the mountains
So
on fire.
persecute them.
So persecute them
With thy tempest.
with thy tempest,
And make them afraid.
and make them afraid
Of thy storm.
of thy storm.
Their faces with shame.
Feed their faces with
That
shame,
they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy
O
name.
Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
And trouble forever.
And trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to
And
shame
perish.
and perish,
That men may know.
that men may know
That thou whose name.
that thou whose name
Yahweh.
Yahweh
Of the Most High.
of the Most High
Over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Sir.
Right, so you just gonna close it, well, there's nobody in here.
Yeah.
So just close it out.
We're gonna close that. We'll put the scrolls in.
Yeah. The one courtesy salute to the men of
We're gonna close out our service. We're gonna give a courtesy salute. We're gonna give a salute to our men. Ahmad Shabbat. Ahmad. Barak.
How about Hashem, how shall I rock the
We're gonna give a courtesy salute to our sisters. Ahmad Shabbat. Amajim. Yahweh Shema Alatha Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai.
Y'all Yadi Matadis.
Yazamata dismiss.